Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about old public administration. In the literature, when we refer to old public administration, we generally mean three important names which we have already talked about. The first one is Woodrow Wilson and politics administration dichotomy. The second one is Max Weber, bureaucracy, and Taylor, scientific management. That's why today I'm going to make a little bit summary of old public administration. According to Sayre, the primary characteristics of old public administration is the politics administration dichotomy. If we remember from Woodrow Wilson, according to him, administration is the most obvious part of government. It is the most visible side of government. So it's a kind of government in action. It is the executive. And according to Woodrow Wilson, it's a kind of self-evident truth. But it is very important to underline this fact. It is also a desirable goal for Woodrow Wilson. That's why it is not only an empirical fact according to them, it is also a normative value for Woodrow Wilson. So Woodrow Wilson would like to have this system, would like to have politics administration dichotomy. Second point is related to organization theory. In organization theory, we see the dominance of scientific management. We can remember the terminology: hierarchy, specialization, divisional labor principle, planning control, and all those principles are mentioned by scientific management school. All those principles are explained and supported by Taylor, Gulick-Urwig, Fayol, including Weber. According to Woodrow Wilson, corruption is one of the problems faced by the U.S. political system. So what needs to be done is to create unpoliticized bureaucratic administration. That's why Woodrow Wilson is supporting politics administration dichotomy. In addition to this, the third dimension is related to personnel management. Why it is important? It is important to increase the rationality element within the system, within the administrative systems. For example, job analysis. For example, training and development. All those HR functions or personnel functions should be developed scientifically. And in order to increase rationality, we need to implement career service and expertise principles. As we can remember, those principles are Weberian principles as well. According to Woodrow Wilson, civil service should be under the control of the political masters. It is in line with the liberal understanding of bureaucracy. Like Weber, Wilson also thinks that there is a need for political neutrality within bureaucracy. Indeed, according to Woodrow Wilson, civil service reform is a kind of prelude for the extensive administrative reform. That's why, for example, in 1883, the Pendleton Act rejected the spoils system and introduced the political neutrality of government employees. So, merit system was introduced within the United States. And Woodrow Wilson is actually talking about this civil service reform. Now we can explain all public administration with reference to Denhart and Denhart. According to Denhart, the focus of government is on the direct delivery of services through existing or newly authorized agencies of government. So we can remember, for example, Keynesian policies in this sense. There is a direct involvement of states in the delivery of services. Secondly, Public policy and administration are concerned with the implementation. So again, politics, administration dichotomy. So public administrators play a limited role in policy making because they are charged with the implementation of public policies. The services will directly be provided by the public administration. Then, delivery of services should be carried out by administrators who are accountable to the political masters. Why? In order to unpoliticize public administration. So administrators are responsible to democratically elected political leaders. Public programs are best administered through hierarchical, top-down hierarchical structures, organizations. So managers largely exercise control from the top down of the organization. We already explained the main values of managerial perspective, and this is a managerial perspective. They focus on efficiency, economy, and effectiveness. Why? For the sake of rationality. Remember our machine metaphor. Here, citizen involvement is limited. Why? Because public organizations operate most efficiently as closed systems, so they don't need citizen input as a feedback. The role of the public administrator is largely defined as postcorp. We have seen this from Kulik and Urvik. Postcorp means planning, organizing, staffing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. So these are the main principles of old public administration. Next week, we are going to see new public administration so that we can compare and contrast old public administration and new public administration movement. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. See you later.